Good morning everyone, welcome back to my garden. My name is Blythe, I'm gardening in Zone 8A in Eastern Georgia, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about the tomato varieties that I am currently growing. So I currently have about 23 varieties of tomato that I'm growing right now. I'd also like to show you guys the ground cherry varieties that I'm going to be growing. I've got 3 varieties of those. So I've got a little corner of tomatoes here growing on the trellis. So we'll start here, and then I have a few more growing over there. So the first one that I have here is orange accordion tomato, and I'll pop pictures up on the screen for you guys. It's a big orange tomato, very fluted, very beautiful. I have grown this one before with an unsuccessful harvest, so I'm really excited to be able to taste it this year. And I've got one of those here and another one over there. The next one we've got here is Pink Jazz. This is my first time growing this one this year. It is supposed to be more of a beefsteak slicing tomato. And next to that, I've got my Midnight Roma tomato, and this is from Row 7 Seed Company. I have grown this one before. I really love it. We've got a few on there, which is super exciting. Also, just to note, it smells amazing over here, like just fresh, sweet tomato deliciousness. So moving on from the Midnight Roma, I have Black Beauty, which is more of a slicing tomato. I have not grown this one before. I'm really excited to try it. And then next to that, we have Berkeley Tie-Dye Pink. Haven't grown this one before yet either, so again, super excited to see how this one is. This one is a slicing tomato as well. I mainly grow slicers. I'm not really big on like the saladette, grape, cherry tomatoes. I do have a few, which I'll show you guys. I mostly grow like slicer, beefsteak, paste tomatoes, so yeah. So next to the Berkeley is a red Rosso Sicilian tomato, which I've grown before. It is a slicer. It's very fluted, very prone to like fusion. You can kind of see there. Fused blossoms, which I do not mind at all. I just let them grow, see what happens. There's actually a lot on here. I wouldn't say it's like a huge tomato. I think it's more on the smaller side from what I remember. But it is very beautiful. So, and then in the corner here we have Kellogg's breakfast tomato. I haven't grown this one before. I think it's a yellow or orange variety of tomato. I'm really excited. We've got a few fused blossoms on there, so it should be really pretty. Can we just appreciate the morning dew? Like, look how beautiful it makes these leaves look. So next to Kellogg breakfast, we have 2 Amish Paste tomatoes. This is my hands down absolute favorite paste tomato. They get really big, they're really meaty. Wonderful sauce tomato. Yeah, and these are doing really well. And just to pop in here and clarify, I only grow 1 to 2 of each variety because I have such a limited space here. And I like the variety. I like growing things that I haven't grown before. I like growing things that are new. I like growing a lot of things. So things that are different. So yeah, I grow 1 to 2 of each plant just for the variety of it. So moving on from the Amish Paste, I've got the other orange accordion right here. Next to that is Martha Washington, which most of these varieties I've started from seed. I will tell you if I didn't. This one I did not. This one I bought at a local plant sale. So I'm excited to try it. I haven't tried this one before. And then the last 2 in this corner are Abe Lincoln tomato, which is a staple in my garden. This is one tomato that grows really well here in Eastern Georgia. It is a huge, really delicious, meaty, sweet beefsteak slicing tomato. So it's perfect. So I actually am not a big fan of tomatoes, or haven't been in the past, which is kind of interesting that I grow so many tomatoes. I love growing them. They are a really fun plant to grow. But I am also being converted to homegrown tomatoes. So I will eat them just raw now. Only if they're homegrown. I don't eat tomatoes out if they're not homegrown. Gross. But yeah, and I really like making dishes and sauces and, you know, things like that with them too. So, but yeah. So here we are on the other side of the garden where I have more tomatoes growing. And we'll go ahead and start with this first one. It is Sun Sugar Yellow Hybrid. I did not start this one. I bought this one from Home Depot. Of course, I was at Home Depot perusing all the plants because, you know, what else would I be doing? And I saw this one and it kind of caught my eye. And so I went ahead and got it. Just gonna try it. It actually had 2 plants in the pot, so I feel pretty good about the price that I paid. The other one did survive. I gave it to a friend. So yeah. So these are just now starting to flower. I don't typically prune cherries or small cluster tomatoes. So you'll see this guy might get a little wild here on the edge, but you know, I love it. I love a little wild. Next to that we have Sweetheart Cherry. So this is one of the other cherries that I'm growing, and I have grown this one before. It was really good. The tomatoes are really cute, and it's just a really productive, easy cherry to have in the garden. Yeah, you know, because like I said, I don't love cherry tomatoes, but I do like to grow at least 1 or 2. So next to that here we have a mystery tomato. This guy lost his tag. But I put him next to the Costoluto Genovese tomato because I think that that's what this is. I could be very wrong. These stems are kind of purple on this one and on this one as well. So we'll see. I have grown this one before. Very fluted, very beautiful beefsteak slicing tomato. All around just a good tomato. And so this one is not quite big enough to be on the trellis yet. It's still pretty small, just started putting out some flowers. And then the Costoluto Genovese next to that also has some flowers on it. I don't see any tomatoes quite yet, but yeah, very beautiful tomato. Next to the Costoluto Genovese, I have a San Marzano, which, if you know tomatoes, you know this one. It is a paste tomato, already producing very well. I did not start this one. I bought this one from the same plant sale that I got the Martha Washington tomato from. Figured why not grab one, have it in the garden. I love paste tomatoes, so yeah, there you have it. Next to that we have a mushroom basket, which I have 2 mushroom basket plants. This one is also another heavily fluted, beautiful red, big slicing tomato. Lots of flowers, lots of growth. Even on this one, lots of flowers. So I'm excited to watch this one grow. Next to that, we have the most fun and exciting tomato that I'm growing in my garden. I have grown this one before. It is one of my top favorites. It's a staple in my garden. It's the Bling tomato. Variegated leaves. It will have a pretty big, decent sized slicing tomato. I mean, let's just look at this beauty right here. Variegated stem all the way. Like, just freaking gorgeous. I love this tomato. I have 2 of those in here. It's a little bit tricky to keep the variegation on these, I will say. So most of this variegation coming up here is from being inside, and then you can see coming out to more sun, it loses a lot of its variegation. You see how the stem looks just regular green. So I'm still gonna experiment next year. I didn't do it this year, but next year I'd like to grow a lot more variegated varieties to see if there's one or several that will keep their variegation better than the Blues Bling will. So, but like, ugh, I love it. It's so fun and funky. So yeah, moving on from there, I have a tomato that needs some water. This one is a brown sugar tomato. I haven't grown this one before. It's supposed to be more of a saladette tomato, but they're looking kind of big, so I'm excited to see how this one does and how this one tastes. Here next to the brown sugar, I have Thornburn's Terracotta tomato. And this one is a big slicing. I think it's supposed to be big. I'm not really sure. I've seen several different photos, but I've never grown this one myself. But I've heard it's really, really delicious and is a slicing tomato. So we'll see how that does. I've got 2 of those here. Next to that, we have pineapple tomato. I love this tomato. Delicious, huge, big beefsteak, yummy, pretty, sweet, pineapple-y. Excited. After that, we've got Big Rainbow. Haven't grown this one before. Really excited to grow it. It looks like it's gonna be very prolific here, so that'll be awesome. I think this one's more of a big beefsteak tomato. After that, we have the wine jug tomato. I have not grown this one before. I'm excited. It's supposed to be kind of a cool wine juggish shape to it. So, and I will also link or post down below where I got all the seeds from for these. So right past the wine jug, we have the Cherokee Rose, which I haven't grown before. I'm really excited to see how it looks, how it tastes. It's supposed to be a slicing tomato that kind of has the rose hue to it. And then last but not least, we have Pink Fang, which is more of a sauce tomato, more elongated fruits with a pink hue to them. I grew this one last year. I grew this one last year and it did okay. Last year was kind of a bad year for me growing things on our new property, but I think we have figured it out now. So, because these are doing much better already, but it's just such a cute little elongated fruit. I love it. So those were all the tomatoes that I'm growing, all the varieties. And I'm taking you into the tunnel to show you the ground cherry varieties that I'm growing this year. So here we have the ground cherries. 4 of them doing amazing, 2 of them were just transplanted and are doing amazing as well, just definitely not as big. I've got 3 varieties, 2 of each. This first one here is Aunt Molly's, which I have grown before. Delicious, sweet, juicy, amazing. So those 2 are right here. Next to that, I have Goldie's ground cherry, which I bought from the local plant sale that I've told you guys about. So I haven't tried that one yet, and I am really excited to try it. I ended up buying one and found a baby plant in it, so I was really happy about that. So then next to that, about to say I forgot to label them. This is the new Hanover ground cherry, which the description of it sounded amazing, so I wanted to try it. I absolutely love ground cherries. They are so sweet, delicious, like little berries, like little, I can't even tell you. It's like a pineapple-y, citrusy kind of taste to it. But they're just like, they're so little, and they come with their little husk to keep them protected, and they fall right off when they're ready, so you know when they're ready to be picked, and they're just the best garden snack. I absolutely love coming out here and finding one that's ready and popping it in my mouth. So that's gonna be it for this video. I think I'm gonna make a separate video for peppers and eggplants because I do have a lot of varieties of those as well. And so yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Can't wait to see you in the next one.